Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Waka.
Waka, waka, waka. Happy Friday. Oh, wait. Is it Friday? Oh, it is Friday. Oh, my gosh. I'm kind of twisted around.
It is Friday.
I'm twisted around because we went to McCartney's football game last night, and usually they're on Fridays,
Yeah,
Thursday night. So,
that'll throw you. I'm gonna go meet Frank at Steve's son's game tomorrow.
yay. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Pick up my peck of tomatoes.
Is that what you're going to get? A peck?
I'm
No,
gonna
what
get
is
myself
a
a
peck?
peck of tomatoes tomorrow.
What exactly is a peck? All I know that from is a peck of pickled peppers.
How many that is?
Peter Piper picked a peck of, God knows how many peppers are in a peck.
God knows how many people Peter Piper picked.
God knows, or Phil knows, how many are in a peck.
Well, they said in the email, it just said they have a what did he call it? He called it like a jeez. Of course, I don't have it. It was like an overflow. What was it?
Bushel?
No, it was just like it just said like overflowing pack or something like that. A full pack. I don't know. He said it's about 12 pounds of tomatoes, and then
Whoa.
Then I looked online and I said, well, how much does an average tomato weigh? So
Right.
three tomatoes, like beefsteak, like baseball sized tomatoes, they say weigh about a pound, 3 tomatoes. So I'm expecting about 30 to 36 tomatoes, maybe a little bit more if they're smaller. I don't know. They're beefsteaks. So I'm assuming they're bigger.
Wow.
So yeah, it'll be good. So Frank texted me and he just said, hey, if you want a peck, I can pick it up. And then you can meet me at the football game and grab the tomatoes. And I said, yeah, the football game's 20 minutes away or 15 minutes away. I said, that'll work. So I put my order in, and then he's like, what if I pay for the tomatoes and you pickle or you can all the tomatoes for us? I'm like, wait a minute. I don't even know.
Canning here.
I'm like, I don't know how long that's going to take.
Wait, you're not canning them, you're jarring them, right?
Oh, jarring them, yeah.
Okay.
So
I was just wondering because I heard you say that to Kathy earlier, and I was like, "Is he canning now?"
Yeah, no, jarring, yes. So I did pickles, and I said I've never jarred or canned anything like that. The process is similar, but I just don't know. Like the pickles were somewhat easy. It's like, okay, I go buy a bunch of cucumbers. I see how many fit in each jar. And then I go back and get more cucumbers to fit those jars. Here, I'm buying a peck of tomatoes. I don't know what that means. It could be a half a trunk load. And Frank's like, get as many as you can, as many pecks as you can buy. I'm like, how many pecks do I have to buy? I guess I'm going to be jarring tomatoes for like 3 weeks here.
He wants you to stock us up for all year, all winter tomato sauce.
I said, I think I'm just going to stick with the 1 pack and then see how it goes, and then we'll go from there.
Next week, I'll put my second peck order in.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can, I don't know. He just said like this is tomato week or whatever.
Yeah, I think Henry, our farmer, sent a message saying like, this is it, and there's like great deals, and he's bringing out all of them.
Yeah, so there's like heirloom tomatoes, beefsteak,
cherry.
Cherry, and one other. Roma tomatoes.
It is just gorgeous when you go there. I mean, I've been, going to this farmer's market for years, but when these tomatoes come in, I mean, it's just the layout that he has. It's just gorgeous. If you get there early and you get to see them all, the different sizes and shapes and colors, and it's just so awesome. Frank,
Well, I was gonna say, who your Frank's sister brought all those tomatoes that you showed me a picture of?
It's so funny. So I sent Phil this morning. So Kathy, his sister, brought Frank's parents in town last night, and her husband, and they stayed at our house last night. Well, she said, I'm bringing you tomatoes. And I was like, oh, yay, because she has a farm. Yeah, that's that's a picture I sent Phil this morning. She brought me, they're super red and juicy and ready to go. And she brought in this basket of them. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. She goes, oh, we're not done. And then her husband comes in with a giant box. And so we spread them all out on the counter. Oh my gosh. So I am going to be eating those because I'm going to, I can't get enough tomatoes. I mean, we're making tomato salads every night. Our meal planners, we've been giving you the recipes of all the things that we eat, tomato salad. Oh, did you make the frizzelle?
Yeah, I did. Well, hang on. Well, after Judy sent me that bounty, I sent her what was on my kitchen counter. That's sad.
Sent me that back with a sad face. I felt so bad for him. And I was just about to type to you, come over, I'll give you half of these. And then you started talking to Kathy about you're getting your own pack tomorrow.
Packs of tomatoes.
So I don't know what to do with all these, but I'm gonna keep eating them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess. We'll see. If Frank wants to give me like some of their tomatoes, yeah. I mean, I'll jar them. Kathy said what was in that picture. She said it will take about 2 hours to jar. It's not a super huge process. And they're like, I was reading up online. She does it where she cooks it, so it's like diced tomatoes, like you'd open a can, like you'd add it to soups or chili or things like that. I also want to do some whole tomatoes as well. So if you had to use tomatoes to cut up,
So after you do this process, then you put it. Can we put it in the pantry, or does it have to be?
Yeah. So
that's so nice. I'll put my order in.
It'll stay for like they said anything acidic will stay for about 18 months, and then anything non-acidic will stay for 2 to 4 years, depending on
Oh my gosh, no wonder Frank wants to put you to work, because we'll have all those nice, fresh, juicy tomatoes.
Well, that's what's great about these pickles. I mean, I took 2 days to make pickles, and now I haven't bought a pickle since. I just go down to the basement and open. I just opened up another one today, and it's the not English cucumbers, but the Persian. I made Persian like slices to try those.
Oh, I love those.
They're good. Yeah, they're tiny rounds.
But your jalapenos were to die for. He made pickled jalapenos, which I already love. But the reason for me were so good because the pickled jalapenos that you buy, which I also love and put on pizzas and everything, they're just mushy. So his have a tiny bit of a crunch. They're soft.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. And you cut them thick how I like them.
Next time I make those, I'm going to actually cut up a habanero and put it in just to make them, because they're not spicy
they're not, all. No, they're not that spicy.
It loses that spiciness. But even like the last habanero I used, that really wasn't that hot either. Maybe I'll go hotter and see if I can make a hotter. Maybe they do sell ghost peppers at the
That'll be hot. If you just slip one of those in there, it'll permeate the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I do have that huge jar too that I've made pickles in. Maybe I could do that massive jar with a ghost pepper. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want is like, wow, they're too hot to eat.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin it. We haven't put the pickling in the meal plan yet.
No, not yet.
We will.
But there's a lot of stuff I've been testing. Like I said, I just opened the asparagus last week. Those were awesome. Really good too. So, a lot of cool stuff. I got green beans left to go. And I think everything else is a mix of I think I have a banana pepper too. And then everything else is jalapenos, regular cucumbers and whatnot. So.
What kind of pepper do you do banana pepper? I mean, is that a banana pepper?
Yeah, just a banana. I just cut it in, just almost like if you buy a thing of banana peppers for sandwiches. I don't know if you ever buy it in vinegar, like they usually have them.
But see, I'm confused. I didn't know there was an actual pepper called, I guess, because sliced banana.
It's a long yellow pepper.
I never saw one whole. I only saw the sliced rings. I thought they were just kind of named that.
In some Italian restaurants, you can get stuffed banana peppers. They stuff them with sausage and stuff, but like they have a dish. I've had it before.
I guess I thought banana peppers were peppercini sliced up. What are peppercinis?
I think those are
pickled.
I think those are green.
I don't know. I have to look that up. I want to see the actual peppers. Because I love both of them, peppercini and banana peppers. I love, basically any kind of pepper.
Yeah.
Pickled peppers. Okay, so you're going to do some jarring for me. Yay.
Yeah, I'll jar them up and see how they come out.
Yeah, I'll send you some of Kathy's tomatoes because I have a ton, and I want you to try hers. They're so red and juicy. I'm sure you're getting similar from Henry's tomorrow.
Yeah, and I told Frank, like I'm gonna keep like 5 or 7. I don't know how I'll be able to eat this week, but I'll keep 5 or 7 out, and then I'll jar the rest.
Okay, so quickly tell us about the frizzelle.
So, and I was going to make a video, and I was just so dumb not to do it. So I had that left over. So we did have company. It's just funny because I made a point of like, hey, I'm making the bruschetta for company. And then we had a lot of stuff. And then my friend Ida brought this huge thing of pico de gallo, and it was all tomatoes, and she had breadfruit. And I'm just like, oh, geez, now I'm going to put out like this and then those tomatoes. So I didn't even put the bruschetta out. So yeah, I made it. I made an omelet. That I think on either Saturday or Sunday.
Bruschetta omelet.
And then I made the bruschetta. I made the frizzelle twice. I made it for like breakfast one day and lunch the other day. So I don't know why I didn't make the video. I was like, oh, this would be a cool little video just to show it. But
he found frizzelles that were whole wheat, no oil. I mean, that was amazing. I loved it.
Pete's.
Pete's. I need a Pete's by me.
So yeah, if you're not familiar with frizzelles, they're almost like an oversized half a bagel or a sliced bagel, I guess, and it's like left out, so it's like rock hard. And I mean, the way we make it, the way my dad would make it, he'd get some boiling water, and then you'd pour the water kind of encircle the bagel so it starts to get soft, and then you load it up with like the tomato salad, and then you could eat it with a fork and knife. I mean, it's like chewy and soft, and the tomatoes and the bread. It's
so good. I was trying to find a picture because I like what you did there, but
yeah, I don't even know. Did I take a picture?
No, I had an old one. Well, this one's covered in meat and cheese. I'm not going to show that. We never had it with meat and cheese. Well, here's the frizzelle. That's what it looks like. Oops.
Yeah, I don't. What I was going to say, I didn't
That's
even take.
That's what it looks like.
I can't believe I didn't even take a picture.
I can't believe it either.
No.
I have one from the Little Clove days that I when I made it, but we never made it with cheese or meat or anything like that. But you buy these. They look like bagel size, but they're not. They're
bigger. Yeah. I remember the old one. I mean, Dad would get one that was like plate size. I remember like huge frizzelle. These are a little bit smaller. They're a little bit bigger than bagels, but not that size. But
so basically, it's like a ringed crouton. It's crispy, crunchy like a crouton. And then when you put the boiling water on it, just a little bit, it gets a little soggy, just so it's not so you can eat it. And then you put the tomatoes on. Oh, it's so good. Wow, I have to get some. Do you have any? You could do a trade-off and send home some of those with Frank, or did you eat them?
Yeah, I can.
You have some? I have all those tomatoes. And I have a bushel of fresh oregano in my garden. And basil is going. I can't keep up with this basil. I mean, I'm going to turn this camera around, see if you can see this right here. Look at all that I have to eat. Basil, parsley, my dill went crazy. That's mint down there. The oregano is down in the back garden, but
whatever you can't use, you could dry.
Yeah, I will.
I do that every.
I still come out here every day and snip up my herbs. So
yeah. Usually, like when I take down the garden, whatever's left on takedown day, I just I pull and I dry it out. Wash it all real good and then just set it out for a few days. So for a while we have like herbs spread all over the kitchen. It's just like, just leave them in 3 days. They all dry.
I did with some of the red peppers you sent me. So I have crushed red pepper.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Don't send too many. I want Frank to taste it too. The frizzelle.
Well, I mean, it comes in a package of 5? I think I've eaten 2, so I'm not going to send too many.
Just send 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think it came in 6-pack. I think so. It's like 3 full like bagel size things.
Yay! Oh, I'm so excited about that.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, Shan does. I mean, Shan would eat them. I guess she doesn't like. Oh, frizzelles. It's just
like we do.
Yeah, they just sit in the cabinet. As far as she's concerned.
What kind of Italian is she?
I hear you. That's her. Other whatever nationalities, she's got a mix.
Irish.
All right. Shall we get to the chow?
Let's get to the food. Let's get to the good stuff. So fall is here, even though I'm sitting out here and it's so nice out. It is getting a little bit chilly and we're heading into fall. So we're going to get into some fall recipes. Wow. Look at that.
Look at that.
Just looks like a big wow. And I wrote in the meal prep, we called this Supreme for a reason because it has everything in it you could ever want out of a pizza, pasta, bake combo. First of all, who's made the pepperoni? Anybody? It is so good that if you haven't had pepperoni in years, like, meat pepperoni, like I have not, the first time I made this, bees are like really swarming around here now. It's pepperoni. It's so wild without the oil and grease from typical pepperoni. It just has all the spices. Like this spice combination is down and it's so, so good. So you start with that. And like this one does have a lot of layers and components. So, I mean, we make all of our components. We make our own cheese. We make our own pepperoni. We make our own sauce because we're using 100% plant foods. And that's why it's so good for us. If you made like a typical pepperoni pizza supreme bake, It would probably be loaded with butter and cheese and heavy cream and
pepperoni grease.
Grease, yes. So all that's gone, and you could eat this, as our dad would say, with your whole heart, because you're helping your heart, you're healing your body, and it tastes so good. And you're getting the flavors of pepperoni and mozzarella cheese and that delicious pasta. So it's worth the effort for me to make something like this. And that's why we work on the meal prep, like make your pepperoni ahead of time. You can't make the cashew mozzarella ahead of time, because what you do is you make it and it's really warm and creamy, and then you make your pasta and you mix that together. So you want it nice and warm and creamy, so it all mixes together. So you have your cheesy pasta done, and then we make the pizza sauce, we make the pepperoni. So you can make your sauce ahead of time, which is so simple to make. Phill and I make this stuff all the time, and it's like you just put it on the back burner, throw it, let it simmer while you do everything else. But make the components ahead of time. It's worth it. And then you just layer it up and bake everything on, the night you want to eat. Everyone will love this. It is packed with veggies too. I just wanted to add a lot of flavor to this, so I roasted a whole pepper, a red pepper. And if you've never done that, it's so easy to do. And then I was thinking, as long as I'm roasting a pepper, why don't we roast the tomatoes too? Because we want it like a veggie pizza, veggie and pepperoni. Roasting just gives it that other, next level of flavor. So the roasted red pepper and the roasted cherry tomatoes, so good in this. You can really customize it and make it your own. I even wrote in the recipe, you don't have to add the pepperoni if you just want to skip that step. And then you just have like roasted veggies and cheese casserole. But it's really fun because it does taste like a pepperoni pizza.
You could throw a scoop of like the Italian sausage crumbles in, and just have sausage, instead of pepperoni too.
You could totally do that. And it's like a lasagna. I mean, you're layering it. So you put the sauce on the bottom, a layer of pepperoni. If you did the crumbles, just do that and follow the other steps, like half of the pasta, half of the veggies, and then it crumbles, just eyeball it. I mean, you can't really go wrong.
But like you were saying, the idea of prep, like, because again, when you're trying to do this all in one day, sometimes it's like, wow, that's a lot of work. So breaking that out, not only that, but like typically what I do is I'll make 2 recipes of the sauce. So next time I want to make something like this, the sauce is done. I'll make 2 recipes of the almond parm. I mean, we use it all the time. So I never make like a half recipe or anything like that. But anything I do that I know I can either freeze or use through the week, I always do either full, even if it's not needed, or I do a double just to save myself time next time. And then I'm like, mental note, we got that, gravy in the freezer, we can
that's
eat up my next meal.
You're really good about that. I'm usually not. I don't know why. I feel like I'm cooking so many things at once, and I follow our own recipes all the time. I don't do this. I wing things. Like I made a stir fry this week. I just throw things together. But when I want it, like our food, mostly I follow the recipes. So I'm just always like, I've probably got 3 things going on at once. I don't really double much, but I want to cook more like that. But that's smart to do. Even this pepperoni, it's so good, and you could just keep it in your fridge. It's really hard not to eat it before you make this because it's that good. I was eating it on crackers. I just like a cracker and a piece of pepperoni. That's what we used to eat when we were kids. Mm-hmm. It's really good. And another thing is I just use like a top of a spice. Oh, I don't know if I wrote this in the recipe. I can't remember because, you know what? We did the pepperoni recipe a long time ago. I didn't just do it. I must have. But you use like a cap to like a spice jar to cut out the pepperoni, unless you have a cookie cutter that shape, or you don't even have to make them that shape. Just make them whatever shape you want. But you're going to have if you do it like this, you're going to have the little scraps, and save the scraps because you can layer the scraps because they're just hiding inside. But you probably will want to eat the scraps like I do. So I didn't really have many scraps. Eating all the scraps.
Scraps.
But it looks pretty to cut a few out for the top like that because I like that. And then it's just nice to have them in your fridge when your pizza night rolls around. Toss on some pepperoni. It's really nice.
Like a charcuterie board. I don't know how. Like I know like the smoked sausage I've made and I froze those. And then we were again having like, I made an almond cheese. We had crackers. I had some olives. And then I took that sausage out. I'm like, well, let's see how this thing goes. Same thing. I just cut it into little rounds. Like, it's pretty darn good.
Was it? Oh, good.
Yeah, like little sausage slices. I mean, it was already steamed, so it was cooked. I didn't cook it again after that. But it came out really good.
I did not ever freeze this. I haven't done that because we just eat it right away. It's so good. That would be good to know, though. I'll try that next time. I'm sure it'll freeze okay. I would think so.
Never know until you try.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping someone makes this just like last week's. It was like our, what did we do last week? Oh, the chili mac bake. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen anybody post that yet, but I really hope someone makes that one too. These are really good. And it's just cozy comfort food. It's a bake. It's really nice your house smells so good. And then you pull it out of the oven and it's like, wow, everybody will love it.
Well, and even the idea like of a pizza bake, there might be, might be able to turn the kids on to some meals they normally may not eat, as well.
Oh, I just have to say real quick. I'll try to make it quick. So I made the tostadas for my friend Beth's. I forgot to take a picture. What is with us forgetting to take pictures? I was rushed, but anyway, I made the tostadas for Beth's birthday party last Sunday. So there's a bunch of women there I knew some of them, but I didn't know a lot of them. But anyway, I made a big platter, and what I did was I cut the tostada, the corn tortillas. I didn't want them big because everyone was bringing something. So anyway, I wound up hand cutting them just into little tortillas like this big, and then I toasted them in the oven. They were so cute. And then I had a bunch of scraps that I later baked and made my own little scrappy chips. But anyway, so then I made creamy refried beans in my Instant Pot. I made the taco crumbles, and I made the nacho crema. It's like I just knew they were going to knock them out when they tried this because how could they not? So I made this giant platter, had a white platter. It was so colorful, and I brought my nacho crema with me. So I made them all at home. And I think I put just a tiny bit of shredded lettuce and some scallions maybe. But that nacho crema, when I got there, I just drizzled it over each one. They looked so beautiful. And everybody was just dying over the food. Like, that's what this food does. You made me think of it when you said this, get people to eat this. This woman was so excited. She's like, my daughter eats like this. I never know what to make her. I keep making the same old things and I don't know what to make. And I'm like, exactly what we're doing here. Like pizza bake, tacos that are going to blow people away. You make a platter of those tostadas that I just made. I mean, they were just like, shoo, they were gone. Like, they were so good. I mean, it just is. And that's what we're trying to do here. This one is so good for a party or like a crowd, like not a crowd or a party. I mean, like just like a dinner party. Like if you have people over.
A crowd or a party. Well, not a crowd or a party.
I didn't mean like a big, huge party. I meant more like a dinner party where you just want to nail it and you want to know it's going to be good, like those tostadas. Who wouldn't like those, Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Anything more on the pasta bake?
Sorry. Oh, you could take the next one.
I believe it's the tomato dip.
Go ahead.
So more with the tomatoes. Tomatoes are in season. We're using them. And I hope, and again, I should take a poll to see how many people grow gardens. Or again, I don't know. If you don't grow a garden, tomatoes are the one thing that I look forward to and disappoint me when they're gone, where it's just like, oh, that first store-bought tomato is always the worst. And it's like, how can I buy these? 9 months or whatever it is, 6 months. I only get them. Well, I guess when do we start getting them? May, June, July, August, September. So 4 months. So 8 months of the year we get horrible tomatoes. Although we found those Camparis are probably the best ones that I found in the plastic thing. Like
they're little, but
yeah, right. You buy the minis, but
for salads they're better. If you
buy those big ones, they're just I don't know.
Just they're worthless.
Almost
here. Mom says that about Florida. Sorry, I don't know. She always says that you can't get good tomatoes down there.
Yeah. I've done that.
I sent her a picture of those tomatoes today, and she said, I'm salivating over those tomatoes.
But again, I mean, if you were to go here and buy tomato, like I can't find good tomatoes here. Like, paisley pie. Stop.
You mean during the winter?
Well, even in the summer. I mean, I'm eating my own tomatoes in the summer. I don't buy them in Jewel like
Really? Oh, see, I don't even know because of our own tomatoes and the farmers market tomatoes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you get farmers market tomatoes.
I think some stores do have them because I see them at Whole Foods. The little cherry tomatoes are like really ripe right now, but I don't know.
Yeah, I buy the grape ones. I'll buy like a pint of grape tomatoes. But again, you want like a tomato on a sandwich, or you want to make a tomato something with a big piece of tomato. Just those big tomatoes are just not good in the. I mean, at the store. I mean, I don't know. I'm a tomato snob now. After you start growing in your garden,
you are. I mean, not you. We are. Yeah, no. Because once you have them this good, it's like they just don't compare. You can't. And I think I wrote that in all the recipes this summer that we've used tomatoes on. It's like just save it for when you have the good tomatoes. You can't just buy like regular store tomato. They're just, it's not as good. You need that really juicy ripe tomato for any of these recipes. So anyway, this one is sort of like, if you've ever had tomato pie, it's sort of like a tomato pie dip, and it has those same flavors of it. There's like a southern tomato pie. It's made with like mayonnaise and cheese and summer tomatoes, and there's like a crust on it. This has all those flavors, but I wanted to turn it into a dip because it's really, really nice to put on top of like crostini or like toast. And this one is, it's just more like a dip. It's not like a tomato pie because it doesn't have a crust. And it is just so delicious. Again, it has onions. This one has onions in it, the fresh tomatoes. And then we made like our own type of like mayonnaise cheese dip that is like spreadable that you put on top. And it really like crusts up nicely. It's just a really nice dip. So just one more thing you can do with ripe tomatoes. And for this, we made like a new mayonnaise. There's like a bird chirping right over my head.
The police, the birds.
You hear it? I'm back with the birds this week. I won't get on that subject today. But anyway, the mayo comes out so nice. It's like a real thick, nice mayonnaise. And the problem with it, there's one little problem that it makes kind of a lot. It makes kind of double what you need for the recipe. But I like having it because I like putting it on sandwiches. You can make potato salad with it or coleslaw. Like, I just put it in different things, especially tomato sandwiches. That's how we always ate them. That's what I've been doing, mayonnaise and tomato. But, it makes kind of a lot. I was going to cut it in half for the recipe to make just enough, but I don't know. It's a tricky one to cut in half because there's like one clove of garlic. Like once you make it and it's perfect, some recipes are hard to cut in half. It's like one box of silken tofu. So then it's like, what do I do with the other half if I cut it in half? It's stuff like that. One clove of garlic. I don't know. So you're going to have some leftover mayo and just get creative with it or eat tomato sandwiches like I do. Or you could try cutting it in half. I mean, it's just a recipe. If you want to try cutting it in half, go ahead. I haven't done that. The other thing about it is it's hard for me to blend up smaller recipes in my Vitamix. You kind of need that bulk to get the thing going.
Yeah.
I have on my list to buy a smaller jar, but I haven't done that yet. And if anybody knows, let me know if that works because I can't do hummus in my Vitamix. I can't do half a recipe of sour cream, cashew sour cream.
Shan got like that blend, that the cup attachment with its own little blade, system that you unscrew.
For the Vitamix?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what I need.
Just that, yeah. So that does. I use that for different stuff that I know the Vitamix is too big for.
Yeah, I really have to get that because I mean, not that I mind having this stuff around, but we cook so much. We cook so many different things. Like I don't really want a lot of extra things because I'm just moving right on to the next thing, So anyway, silken tofu, you can get that on the shelf in the Asian section if you haven't used that before. It's not the extra firm. It's the silken that we use like in the mousse. And what else do we use it in? Scramble and the creamy regat cheese. We want it. It's like soft. It's not the extra firm.
I gotta say, I was eating scrambles. I think I had 3 scrambles this week using that silken tofu. I
Oh my
love those
gosh, I
things, man.
forgot
Those
about
are so
that.
good. They're
Yeah,
so good,
it's so
man.
good.
I've been using the stuff from the
Okay.
garlic, fresh herbs, and the peppers, and I've been picking those Egyptian walking onions and slicing those up, but just that silken tofu is perfect. It's so
And you
good.
brought me the black salt last time.
Black salt, yeah.
It's so good. It has that sulfuric flavor and it gives it that sort of eggy flavor. Oh my gosh. Okay, I know what I'm making on Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's good, man.
And you can stock up on that silken tofu because it's shelf stable. It's in the what is it? How do you say that word? Aseptic? I can never remember how to say that. Those boxes that are shelf stable. So you can keep
They
it
sell
in.
them both. Like in mine, they sell them on the shelf and in the refrigerated section as
Oh,
well.
right.
Yeah, no, they have both. They have them both sometimes.
So you can just, that's really nice. You could just have that in your pantry, and every time you want a tofu scramble, you don't have to have fresh tofu in your fridge.
Yeah. It's only a cat, and I use half a pack, and it's like, what am I going to use the other half pack for? Another scramble next day.
Well, that's true. Now that you said that, I'm thinking, yeah, I could use it for make a half recipe and use it for a scramble.
When we were in Georgia, that was one we made a brunch or whatever. And that was our contribution. We made a big big tofu scramble with the tofu. Big hit, very good. My sister-in-law, my nieces had it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is just another thing to do with your tomatoes. You layer the whole bottom, and they just bake down and get nice and soft. And with that cheese, just get a whole grain baguette, slice it up, and toast the little rounds and scoop it out for the football game, for the big game. It's a fun little snack to eat.
Perfect for company.
Yeah, really good. It's hard to stop eating that one.
And last, wait a minute. No, there we go.
And now, what we call the piece de resistance.
The zucchini
bread, which is so moist and sweet. And it just tastes like the zucchini bread that you know and love.
And it's funny because we've been eating this. I mean, Mom, they had gardens our whole lives, and this was like a staple coming out of the garden. Was the two things they made out of zucchini, and I gotta say, I miss those. The fried breaded zucchini.
I was just talking about that last night to Kathy. I missed that.
Make those fried zucchini so.
Well, you know what, Phil? We can make it. Like we do.
Not like that. We can't.
Not what?
Not like that. We can't. No, and I was going to. And this.
I would do it.
Yeah, I mean, and I to be honest, I have. I did make it a few times. Just the breaded zucchini and then baked it. But again, it's just not the same.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is my mom. Okay, but we could use the almond parm. So what my mom, we're not going to use dairy cheese or anything like that. We're not talking about this, but my mom would do is make the breading that we made for everything. Everything she breaded was like the breadcrumbs, garlic, cheese, parsley, all that in the breadcrumb mixture. Then she would dunk it in, I think, egg.
Egg wash.
Dunk it in egg, and then dunk it in the breadcrumbs, and then fry it in oil. And those things come out so good. I mean, they do. They were just.
And they would make. I mean, they should make like crispy. 3 zucchinis where there'd be like plates of that stuff, and we would have them on the side of things. We'd put it on.
So good.
Cold. I would eat them cold right out of the fridge.
Sprinkle salt on them. We'd layer them up on sandwiches. Okay, so what I'm saying is we can still have those. We just don't eat a lot of oil. We don't cook with oil for the meal plan, obviously. But we do eat some oil. So what I would do if I really had a taste for that, I would go buy some olive oil. What?
I said fry them in tahini.
He's a little tahini happy. We have a little private joke about that. No, we could do like a flax egg maybe. Or maybe
I think it's and again, like the breading is good. Like we got the breading down. It's
maybe it doesn't need an egg for obviously maybe just the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, you can do different stuff. I mean, you could just do like an almond milk wash, just something to get the the
breading to stick to it.
On. But and I've tried it different ways. You try that wash with the flour and then the wash again and then the breading. Like I've tried them a couple different ways.
Honestly, it seems really weird to think of me frying it in a pan of oil now. Like I have not done that in years. Anything I haven't fried in oil. So, but when you're talking about the zucchini as a final product, I'm thinking, she used to soak them on paper towels to take some of the oil out. I could do low oil. I don't know. I don't know. I've got to think about that. Not for the meal plan. This is just personal. Now you gave me such a taste for that. Why did you give this to me?
That's so good. Anyway, back to the zucchini bread. Jeez. But yeah, those were two of the things. But remember, I mean, we have pictures of them with zucchinis that are like bigger than your calf and as long as your arm. It's like they're holding these zucchini from the garden.
Lord knows what Dad was putting on them to get them to grow that big.
Yeah. Those 1980s chemicals. Look at the size of those tomatoes.
I don't want to know what was going into that stuff, that soil.
But that's what they do. There'd be zucchini bread. There'd be the fried zucchini, zucchini stuffed. I remember Mom making a couple.
I love that. We have that on the site. We did a
yes, we did do a stuffed zucchini. Yeah.
Oh, I love stuffed zucchini.
But these were great. The bread comes out. I mean this comes out like this is as well as I ever remember zucchini bread being.
It's fantastic. So our tahini joke is, we need to add a little oil to our recipes, because if you take out the oil, now with all this oil talk, if you take out the oil, you need a little oil, you need a little bit of fat, let's say, not oil, fat. So the tahini, which is naturally like sesame seed paste, just ground up, gives it that. So anyway, Phil created this recipe and he added tahini. I think it's a half a cup. And so when I made it the first time, I was like,
very skeptical.
What? You're putting tahini and zucchini bread? Like, the tahini is, but every time he does it and every time I am skeptical, it's a smashing success. So I just followed along with it. I made the recipe to a T because, like we said, we test each other's recipes. We have a lot of flops that you guys never see. But this one, mostly not flops, I have to say. But this one with the tahini, I almost forgot. I was like, how is there tahini in this? This is like Mom's zucchini bread. It's really good.
Yeah.
I will never doubt you again.
So even in this one, I know originally I was going to put nuts in, but then I don't know. I made when I make like what
you
even
did
for this
picture.
One,
I see them in the photo.
All right, one had nuts and the other one didn't in here, and I cut them both then, but I didn't have a picture of the one without nuts either. So I'm like, and then when I was talking to you about it, I'm like, I wouldn't put nuts. The nuts are fine, but
I
as we're talking,
nuts in any, yeah,
my mom never even put nuts either, so I don't even know why I did it with the original ones. When I did it, but I mean, I made both. Just when I was testing. But
I love nuts so much, but I don't like nuts in some desserts. It's weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I didn't mind them in here. For me, it just didn't do too much for me having them in. It's like, I don't know. We never had them in before. No, they were fine, but it doesn't add a lot to it. But you could add nuts if you like. For this recipe, I think it's 1.5 cups per whole recipe. So 3/4 cup per loaf. So if you wanted to try one with nuts and one with no nuts, just put a 3/4 cup in one. I just like split the batter. I put a plain in and then I mix nuts into the second batter. But if you do like nuts, you could certainly add them in. But yeah, this comes out great. Moist and just the ends are chewy and just, really good.
It's so good. You have to try this. And I have a feeling that if Mary's watching, she'll try this because I know she loves the pumpkin bread. And this one is really good. She likes desserts too. Yeah. Just going to think of something I wanted to say about this. Oh, it's the white whole wheat flour, which is a whole grain. It's wheat flour, but it's white. So it keeps our desserts nice and light and fluffy. So it's not refined. And you would never be able to tell. I couldn't tell unless I haven't had zucchini bread in so long that I forgot how really good it is. This is really good.
And in the end, I mean, I try to let things just stand on their own merit. It's hard now to, it's funny just to compare it to things that I had years ago. And it's just like, how do I remember exactly how that tastes? Especially if it's something like when we make from like, I haven't had that for 20 years. It's like, how do I even remember what that tasted like? My taste has changed.
I mean, there are just a few things that I do crave that I haven't had. And I guess it's like I tested this cauliflower dish this week. It did not come out. And we ate it. It was fine, but it wasn't good enough for the meal plan. And it just, because I have in my head, the cauliflower that Mom used to bread in eggs, the same old thing, not breadcrumbs, but like eggs and cheese and garlic. And then she would fry it in oil And it would just come out like French toast, almost like French toasted cauliflower, and then drain it on the paper towels. And it was just to die for, just like that darn zucchini. But anyway, I thought I would bake it and do this fancy coating, and I baked it a certain way, and I wanted it, and I thought, oh, it's going to be just like the cauliflower. Nope. Yeah. It was soft. It was soggy. I mean, we totally demolished it. It was good. It just wasn't what I was hoping for, but that's what we do here.
I hear you.
Mary said, yes, you've got my number. I knew it. She's going to try this. You're going to try this, aren't you? I think you'll like it. It's so good. It's really good. And we were trying to up our desserts. I'm just not a huge dessert person, but this one, it's like brings me back to my childhood. It's like, it's not super, super sweet, although I think it's sweet. I don't know. For me, it was sweet. Just really, really good. Did we ever make a date nut bread yet?
I believe I made date nut somethings. What was it? Not bread.
That's another one we have to. If we didn't do it, we have to. It's another one that Mom made that was so good.
You know, that I have yet to see. I mean, I see date and nut bread stuff. I see zucchini bread and date and nut bread stuff. Do you remember that friendship bread?
What?
You remember that? You don't remember that?
Wait, you mean that Easter bread with the eggs in it?
No.
Oh.
It was like a.
Wait, I do. It's coming back to me. Wait, did every person make a different part of it?
Oh. No. So someone gives you like that culture, and then you start it, and you got it like it ferments and it grows, and you split it, and then you give someone else that, and then yours continues to grow and ferment, and then you make your bread, and you're done. But the other person takes that and they start the process, and it just keeps going and going and going. But that stuff is really good.
That just sounds wrong in today's day and age with COVID and germs. You take the bread and split it in half. How many people have touched this bread? No, thank you. That sounds like a big old petri dish of friendship. No, thanks. Oh my gosh. Wow. The 70s. Wild.
But that stuff was great. I remember that. I to be honest, I don't even remember what it tastes like, but I remember being how at the time, like, oh, that bread was so good. But you only got so much, and then you made it and it was gone. Like then somebody else had the culture and they were, moving it on or whatever.
A culture? I bet it was a culture. The science experiment. You can keep your friendship.
We called it like Shkivat's bread or something.
No, thank you.
It was good. It was really good.
God. I do remember. I don't remember what it tastes like either, but I remember. I remember that now. Yeah. Such a fun idea back then.
Back then. In case anyone wants to send
blue in here. All the birds are like running for the hills.
That don't sound good.
All righty. All right, everybody. Well,
wrap it up.
I hope you're excited about these. There are 3 really, really good recipes. Use up the summer tomatoes. Use up the zucchini. And we'll be back next week with some more fall favorites.
All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you.
Have a good